Jai Baba, Chapter 15. Baba's life was magical. Even his sleeping habits were quaint. Once, Mr. Nana Sahib Dingle brought a wooden plank for Baba Sai to sleep on. The plank was not more than 4 arms in length and the breadth was very narrow. For some reason, Baba decided, instead of placing it on the floor, he made a virtual swing of it by tying all the 4 sides with torn pieces of cloth. Baba would somehow manage to sleep on this suspended plank. On both sides of the plank, earthen oil lamps burnt. How Baba managed to climb on to the suspended plank without toppling the earthen oil lamps, or how the plank managed to hold Baba's weight, was a mystery. Nobody had seen him get on or off the plank. He would sit on the plank to rest or lie down on it. Everybody was amazed that a few strips of torn cloth could not only hold the plank up but also stay afloat with Baba's weight. There was great curiosity about how Baba managed to climb up on the suspended plank, not disturb the burning earthen oil lamps, and somehow managed not to bring the plank down on the ground by his weight. More and more people would secretly hide and watch to see this miracle of Baba. Eventually, Baba got fed up of the curiosity. One day, Baba broke the plank and continued to lie down on his faithful gunny bag. He had no intention of proving his greatness. All he wanted was to be left in peace, to be able to constantly chant Allah Malik and serve every being. His humility was known far and wide. He was that rare gem who told his devotees and followers with complete humility that I am your slave and I am indebted to you. Which guru says such humble words to his followers? Once a man by the name of Nanavali, who took care of Baba's work, stood in front of Baba and told Baba to get up from his gunny bag as he wanted to be seated on Baba's seat. Immediately Baba got up and Nanavali sat on Baba's seat. After a while he got up and requested Baba to occupy his place. Then Nanavali prostrated himself in front of Baba and our Sai only smiled. Nanavali loved Baba so dearly that 13 days after Baba's Mahasamadhi, Nanavali too left his physical body. After Baba's initial stint in Shirdi, for a short period of time, as a 16-year-old, he returned when he seemed to be 20. He then spent nearly 60 years in the physical body in Shirdi, and nobody could truly understand his vastness or greatness. Baba offered yogic knowledge to the serious seekers, fakirs and sages. We do not know the talks which Baba had with these advanced souls, but a number of fakirs and sages would come to Baba, be seated with him, be guided by him, and then they would leave. For certain, Baba guided them with esoteric knowledge of God is God and Guru, and the ways to advance spiritually on the path. To the normal man, Baba gave them hope, strength, guidance, blessings, and the soundness of his predictions. As mentioned before, Baba was and is an enigma. He was love personified, and there were instances where he would scream, abuse, and sometimes even charge at people with stones in his hands. Often, after an outburst, Baba would forget that he had abused or thrashed somebody. In seconds, he would become tender, compassionate, and motherly. Everybody realized that his anger was directed not at an individual, but towards negative forces around or within the individual. The abuses and thrashings were considered auspicious, as each one was aware that Baba was in fact releasing them of their karmic bondage and past life tendencies. Often he would say, even if I am angry outwardly, there is no anger in my heart. Remember that the ocean might send back the river to its source. A mother might kick her child, but I can never ever harm any of you. I am in the power of my devotees and always stand by them. I am always hungry for their love, and I shall always answer every question put forward by my devotees with love. I shall speak through my devotees. Even if someone has harmed you, you should never react, but instead do a good turn to those who have harmed you. That is what makes me happy. Sometimes he would get upset over an incident and throw the puja dish away in anger and abuse one and all. And sometimes for the same incident, he would be seated calmly with love and tenderness flowing through his eyes. Nobody could truly grasp what was going on within Baba, but all knew that Baba was calm, silent, and centered from within. Once, a doctor by the name of Pandit entered Masjid with sandalwood paste, applied 3 horizontal lines on Baba's forehead. Everybody expected Baba to get furious and begin to either abuse or thrash the good doctor, as Baba did not allow anybody to smear him with sandalwood. Only Mahalsapati could smear it on Baba's throat and feet, but never on the forehead. Baba sat still and allowed Pandit to apply the sandalwood paste on his forehead and even blessed the doctor. Everybody was surprised. They inquired of Baba as to how he had allowed the doctor to apply sandalwood paste on his forehead, when every other time Baba had refused his other devotees the same request. Baba smiled and said, "He treats me the same as his Guru, Raghunath Maharaj of Dhopeshwar, and he has in reality applied the paste on his master's forehead. He sees no difference between his Guru and I. Even though he thinks that I am a Muslim, not once has a doubt risen in his mind that he is a Brahmin and I am a Muslim, and therefore how can he apply sandalwood paste on my forehead? Such devotion and love I can never refuse. His love has won me over." When the others asked the doctor how come he applied sandalwood paste on Baba's forehead, he replied, "I take Baba as my Guru and have come to the realization that Baba and my Guru are one. Thus, as I applied paste on my Guru's forehead, I have applied the paste on Baba's forehead." As time passed, Baba became more lenient with his followers. He began to allow people to wave a fan to keep the flies away from him. Some were allowed to worship him by playing musical instruments in front of Sai. Some were allowed to wash his hands and feet and then apply sandalwood paste and perfume. Some were allowed to prepare food especially for him and then conclude the meal with pan, made with innumerable ingredients. Baba allowed some to apply sandalwood paste on his forehead, a pattern of 2 lines with 2 fingers, as one would apply on the Shivling, the holy Shivling. It all depended on his mood and his state of mind at the time. Baba was one with every element of nature too. Once a very powerful storm hit Shirdi. The rain was powerful, there was lightning and thunder. In a matter of minutes, Shirdi began to get flooded. Everybody began to gravitate towards Masjid. Yes, each one had their own goddess and god to pray to, but when things got rough, everybody gravitated towards their personal lord and master, their Sainath. They pleaded with Baba to intervene and calm the storm. After a while, Baba came out of the mosque, looked at the storm in the eye, and in a loud tone said, "Stop, enough, be calm." In a few minutes, the storm calmed down, the lightning and thunder subsided, and everything came back to normal. Once seated in Masjid, Baba was deep in prayer. For some reason, the sacred fire in the dhuni began to rage. The sacred fire grew stronger, began to rise higher, and nearly touched the rafts of the mosque. Those who were seated there did not know what to do. Should they disturb Baba, who was in deep prayer, or should they sit quietly? Everybody was aware that only Baba could tend to the sacred fire. They sat silently praying that the sacred fire would calm down, but it only raged further. Baba then opened his eyes, saw the raging fire, took his satka and began to bang the satka against the pillar and told the fire, "Calm down, get down." With each bang of the satka on the pillar, the sacred fire began to calm down, and in a minute or so, the sacred fire had settled down. Peace be to all. Baba bless us all with oneness and calm the fire burning in each one of us too. Jai Sai.